News 3 WSIL. Here's what's happening right now.
The importance of getting a flu vaccine this season. A local health expert weighs in. Plus, making Christmas bright. How volunteers are helping make sure those impacted in the Kentucky tornadoes have presents this holiday. And the special way Southern Illinois is helping provide shelter to those victims. News 3 at 5 starts now.
We've got you covered. From WSIL, this is News 3 at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mark Kiesling. Julie has the night off. Several tornado victims from Kentucky are finding shelter in Southern Illinois. News 3's Danny Valle joins us in studio tonight with how the city of Metropolis is helping. Danny, good evening.
Mark, good evening. In the wake of those storms, the city expected to see a rise in hotel reservations, mostly for cleanup crews and utility workers. But last week, they also saw a high number of families go into these hotels without a way to pay. And that's when workers at the Metropolis Tourism Bureau decided to start a GoFundMe page to cover the victims' hotel costs. Trish Steckenrider is the group's executive director, and she says since the launch of that page, they've raised almost $9,000 of its $10,000 goal. Steckenrider says some of the victims have already went back to Mayfield, but others who remain, well, they've lost everything.
Some people were still wearing the clothes that they left their house in on Friday when the tornado came through. We're not going to let people go homeless essentially from our community. We're just not going to do that.
Steckenrider says there are still roughly 25 hotel rooms occupied by displaced tornado victims. Any unused funds from the GoFundMe page will be donated to help victims in Mayfield. And Steckenrider says you can donate now to the GoFundMe page to help, or you can send a monetary donation to the Tourism Bureau. We'll have all that information on our website. Just head over to WSILTV.com/tornado recovery for this and all of our complete coverage. Live in the studio, Danny Valle, News 3.
Thank you, Danny. And Christmas is just a few days away, and Santa is on his way to Mayfield, Kentucky. The town is still in the grips of recovering from the deadly tornadoes, but the Kentucky American Legion says every child, no matter where they are, deserves to have a good Christmas. They're headed to Mayfield this week with coats, toys, and clothes for children, all in the hopes of spreading some much-needed Christmas cheer.
I want to see a smile on a child's face. We all want to see that. And at this time, we cannot do more than to help the ones that are in harm, especially the children.
But the Legion isn't just there for the kids. The American Legion has resources set up for veterans who need help in storm-ravaged communities. That includes financial and housing assistance. The tornado that tore through Mayfield destroyed a lot, but it could not cancel Christmas. News 3's Maya Skinner was there today to show us how volunteers are helping families so they can have a brighter holiday.
I'm here in downtown Mayfield where organizers are preparing for Operation Christmas to bring families some holiday cheer. On Tuesday, dozens of volunteers will make their way through town to distribute a 4-day supply of food and water, gift cards, supplies, and toys for children. Mayfield Mayor Kathy Stewart Onan said in a statement, "Our families need this push to get through Christmas." The Operation Christmas Tuesday event will also give workers who have been providing supplies to tornado victims a chance to take a short break to spend some time with their own families.
It has been really gratifying to see that there are people out there that want to make sure that the kids of Mayfield and Graves County get a very Merry Christmas.
Todd also says at least 70,000 toys have been donated and gift cards are strongly encouraged right now, and they can be mailed or shipped to the Graves County Health Department. The Operation Christmas event starts Tuesday morning at 10, and Todd says they expect to finish by 4:30. In Mayfield, Kentucky, Maya Skinner, News 3.
And the weather cooperated as many folks are still cleaning up from that disastrous EF twister that tore apart Mayfield and many other communities across western Kentucky and northwest Tennessee. Good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Jason Lindsay in for JC. She returns tomorrow. It's 5:03 and check out this beautiful sunset in the Carbondale area. Temperatures, they're cool this evening. Marion right around 43, Carbondale 41, a little cooler in Mount Vernon 38 degrees. Down in Quilt City, USA, Paducah 43 degrees. Radar Our satellite shows you no rain outside, but we are dealing with some clouds as they push across the Show Me State, eventually the Mississippi River into southern Illinois, west Kentucky, and northwest Tennessee. Here's what I'm expecting over the next 12 hours. A southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll see the moon and a few clouds out there, but I think the moon's going to win. 31 degrees by 10 p.m., 27 by 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, what about Christmas? Will you be needing to pull out the shorts? I'll have the answer a little bit later in my 7-day forecast. In the meantime, Mark, back to you.
We now know the name of the man killed in a deadly boating accident over the weekend. The Jefferson County coroner confirms 66-year-old James Likens of Belle Rive died in that accident. Likens was boating on a secluded pond yesterday when that boat capsized. Several agencies responded to help in the search. Likens' body was located and removed from the water by a dive team. Likens was a staff member of the Opdyke Belle Rive School District. The school made a Facebook post today saying how well liked he was and that he will be greatly missed. One person is dead after being shot by a deputy sheriff in southeast Missouri. Officials say it happened yesterday afternoon in Butler County. Authorities were responding to a report of a sexual assault. A deputy and 4 other first responders were inside the home when someone began firing a handgun. The deputy fired back, killing the individual. There's been no word on the identity of the person killed. Now to the latest on COVID-19. The Omicron variant is now the most common form of coronavirus in the U.S., accounting for 73% of new cases. Hospitals in parts of the U.S. are once again overwhelmed with COVID-19 patients. ABC's Rena Roy has more.
As we head into the holidays, yet another COVID surge coast to coast. Cases up 96% nationwide since October. The U.S. now averaging more than 125,000 new infections every day. Healthcare workers feeling the strain once again.
Here we are in the middle of a 4th surge in the holidays. I am very concerned. We are burnt out. We are tired and we are disheartened.
Long lines of people waiting to get tested in big cities like New York and Washington, D.C. as the highly transmissible Omicron variant spreads fast.
Just wanted to get a test before I go home for the holidays.
It's a lot longer of a wait than it was last week, but that's not surprising to me. So.
New York City now adding nearly 24 new testing sites to keep up with skyrocketing demand. The mayor still trying to decide if the New Year's ball drop should happen.
Omicron is a real challenge. It's going to be a very challenging few weeks.
But hopeful news out from Moderna, the drug maker saying new data shows its currently authorized booster increases neutralizing antibodies against Omicron 37-fold within a month of getting the shot. Moderna CEO Stephen Hoge says they're now preparing for potential seasonal shots. The company is also working to rapidly advance its Omicron-specific booster into clinical testing.
I believe we're going to be living with this virus and its strains and variants forever at this point. And we need to continue to think about the best ways to provide the broadest and most durable immune response.
Boston's mayor announcing a vaccine requirement for some indoor venues to help stop the spread beginning in mid-January.
We are facing another winter surge with the Omicron variant. Vaccination is the most powerful tool we have to fight this pandemic.
Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And coming up on News 3 at 6, we spoke with health officials locally on why Omicron is different than previous variants and how it can impact the healthcare system. Flu season is here, and the vaccine can help keep severe symptoms at bay. News 3's Madeline Parker is live in studio tonight with more on why pharmacists say it's not too late to get your shot.
Mark, every year health officials try to predict which strains of the flu will be active during the season. But the goal of the vaccine is not to prevent the virus, but to prevent hospitalizations. The vaccines have 40 to 60% effectiveness depending on the year. With COVID-19 still taking up many resources in hospitals, pharmacists say the flu can cause symptoms that are severe enough for intensive care. In order to help reduce the number of patients in hospitals overall, pharmacists recommend getting the flu shot as soon as you can.
Dealing with COVID and we're dealing with a pandemic, ideally, we want to keep people out of the hospitals. We just have to have those hospitals and staff and everything available in case we do start seeing that spike again, which we did see, and we saw hospitals full. So if we can get flu shots and we can give people the flu shots to keep keep flu patients out to where we can be treating the more serious COVID cases. That's kind of the goal.
Health officials won't know the effectiveness of this year's flu vaccine until later in the season. And if you haven't gotten your flu shot and you still want to, there's still time. Just remember that the vaccine does take 2 weeks to become fully effective. Live in studio, Madeline Parker, News 3.